So, this is what I thought about living in Dallas. Okay, so I was only there for about 3 months. Um, I I did it kind of wrong. I did everything kind of wrong. So that was that. But basically, I really did like Dallas. I love the weather over there, except for that 2 weeks of snow that was, uncommon, but that was whatever. So was there for about 3 months. I went at January the 2nd, beginning of the month, took a plane down to Dallas, flew out there, boom. So I was gonna stay at an Airbnb, um, or actually, sorry, I was gonna stay at a hostel when I first got there. I was gonna stay at a hostel for about a week or so. Um, that fell through. It was just, it was really uncomfortable because I've stayed in a hostel before, but with COVID, they cut down the occupancy. So in the room, it was only me and this other man, and I was like, not quite feeling that. So I ended up staying in a hotel for about 2 weeks, or a couple of days. I think it was a little less than 2 weeks. So I ended up staying in a hotel, and that was chill. But it was not cost effective. So I wouldn't advise anybody, if you're moving to a new city, to stay in a hotel for an extended period of time unless it is one of those hotels where they have a monthly rate. Basically, that'll, deplete your money real quick. So with my money starting to go, and I didn't have a job, so I had a job, but the job that I had was super short. It was a temp job doing something that I've already done in the past with like a bookstore, so packing and shipping books and things like that. And that was only like a week and a half at the most, and they didn't pay that much. They paid like what? I think they paid like $13 an hour, and you didn't really get all the hours that was supposed to be allotted. So um, that was that, but that ended super quick, quicker than I had originally planned, because I had, you know, tallied up like, okay, this is about 2 weeks, so I'm gonna get blah 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 blah, and then I can get my little place, blah blah blah. That didn't happen. So I ended up staying at an Airbnb in what's the area called? The Bishop Arts area. And that was chill. The only thing I didn't like about it was that there was no other like women in there, and with Airbnb you can't regulate, like the owners can't really regulate who's coming in and out, even though they say no guests, even though they say this that, they can't really regulate who's coming in and out. So there was some strange, weird men up in there. Fine. I stayed there for a month, and then I went to another Airbnb. What did I do? I went to a hotel for a couple of days. And that is when the snowstorm decided it needed to come through. So your girl was struggling, money was tight, all of that good stuff. By this time, I'd already started working at the hotel, um, got a job at a hotel, so I started working there. And by that time,
I thought I was doing it, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the hotel, I'm gonna be kicking it. Girl, when I got to the hotel,
all that snow came down. And yeah, so the snow was there. I would have been able to get to work, and that was just a disaster. The lights went off in the hotel. Everything was dark. The lights didn't come back for like, I don't even know how long. It was probably two days almost. So if I would have stayed there, I wouldn't have had no power. I wouldn't have had no like phone, no access to anything. The elevators at least still worked. So, but you know, that was a whole thing. So I ended up staying at work for those couple of days at the hotel so I could be able to access my job. And then I went to an Airbnb, another Airbnb out in Irving, which I really liked because that was all women. So it was all women, and everybody was really chill. So shout out to all the amazing people I met in Irving at that Airbnb. It was fun. I did end up leaving that Airbnb and going to another Airbnb back in the Bishop Arts area. Um, and I stayed there. I stayed there for about 3 weeks, but that one I didn't like as much because they had like all these kind of whatever geek guys there, and they were just whatever. So, but anyway, that's another story. Um, yeah, so ended up going there, and I ended up leaving there because my family came to visit me. They took a vacay down to Texas to visit me, and that was interesting, but I ended up staying with them for the duration of their stay, and we drove around and I saw all of the DFW area minus Fort Worth, but saw all of that. And then I ended up back at the Airbnb with the all women's Airbnb in Irving, until I ended up leaving and coming back to the Shy. So that was my little duration, my little stint in Texas. It felt longer than 3 months, I will tell you that, but during that duration, I saw the good, the bad, the ratchetness if you set yourself up correctly. So, before you go down there, don't be like me where, you're just impulsively like, I gotta move. I mean, I've done it before with Seattle and it worked out. Um, it would have worked out in Texas as well, but I just decided, hey, let me just step back and be realistic. I can do a lot more in Chicago than I can do in Texas, with or without a car. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, yeah, if you've moved to a new city and you have tips and tricks that you used to survive, to make it, to do whatever, if you got tips, leave them down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the video. I'll be coming at you guys with more videos in the future. And peace, one love, you know the drill. TTYL. Bye.